Should I leave or should I stay with you? I am addicted, we are too close. One more day and I'll overdose. Killing me softly, I gotta choose. Keep my life or lose myself in you. I'm so addicted, it has to end. But why do I keep holding your hand? I am stuck and I'm hypnotized. Visions of you come and stay the entire night. My mind is buried, rescue out of sight. Crazy me, what do I not see? That you are living poison in my veins. Put the needle in me so that I feel free. I let loose, give you the key. Pray that you'll be dead to me. Ashamed, this is my destiny. Crazy me, what do I not see? That you are living poison in my veins. Put the needle in me so that I feel free. I let loose, give you the key. Pray that you'll be dead to me. that you say. The voice that carries them has kept me astray. Too soon to act on it, can we ever be? That all depends on what you're feeling from me. Let me show you all the way. Let me show you all the ways. Oh, let me show you all the ways. Yeah, let me show you all the ways. Taken by the words that you say. The voice that carries them has kept me astray. Too soon to act on it, can we ever be? That all depends on what you're feeling from me. Let me show you all the way. Let me show you all the way. Let me show you all the ways. Yeah, let me show you all the ways.
Hi there, I'm Scott Lane, Game Director on New World, an upcoming open world MMO from Amazon Games. In New World, you'll be up against the haunted wilderness of Eternum, a mysterious island set in the twilight of the Age of Exploration. There's going to be massive siege battles and thrilling supernatural invasions, all of this in the midst of a stunning and diverse island. Before we go any further, I'd like to give you a little bit of background on the island, the characters, and what to expect while you're navigating Eternum. You start your journey as the navigator aboard a ship destined for Eternum, who survives a terrible crash and awakens to a strange new world. It's full of both wonder and horror. You find yourself immortal, but you quickly learn there are fates far worse than death. The humans of this lost continent are in a constant struggle against themselves and a threat growing in power, the corrupted. Eternum is a supernatural island with an eternal conflict that causes shifts in its balance of power. The corrupted, the lost, and the angry Earth are in a constant struggle for control. This conflict is at the root of our universe. Over the last century, the pendulum has swung in favor of the corrupted with the rise of the Tempest, the architect of an apocalypse that seeks to unmake life here and target the old world next. Only you, the player, are capable of uniting the warring human factions to face your common enemy that is hell-bent on taking over the world. There's a mixture of main story quests and side quests that lead the player on their journey through Eternum, where the central question is, what is the price of eternal life? On your adventures, you'll meet characters who have adapted, struggled, and succumbed to the power of this place. You'll discover ancient secrets, make powerful allies and enemies, as well as learn that not all is as it seems on Eternum. Last summer, thousands of players joined us for a preview of New World, and they offered us a ton of great feedback. What we heard most was that players wanted to see more mid and end game content, as well as more opportunities for PvE. That's exactly where we focused our efforts. We're excited to show you some of that today. To bring more PvE content to our players, we introduced Expeditions. These are 5-player instanced experiences that take you into the darkest corners of Eternum. You'll face extreme challenges, expose the angry Earth's hidden agendas, reveal the threat behind the lost. You'll dig into the mystery of the ancients, and you'll uncover more about the source of the corruption. Your team will need skill and coordination to overcome these challenges. Each expedition has unique mechanics, bosses, and loot, and each one has its own story to tell. We'll have 6 expeditions in the game at launch, and here's a look at a few of them. Amrine Excavation, the first expedition you'll encounter in New World, takes place in a dig site just west of Amrine Temple. This is where famed archaeologist Simon Gray and his team have gone missing. Your party's going to need to venture into the depths of the dig site to discover what happened to them and to the ancient technology they unearthed. You'll encounter the Empress of Ebonscale in the Dynasty shipyard. She's been building a fleet of warships and must be defeated for the safety of Eternum and the world. In the Garden of Genesis, one of our endgame expeditions, you'll explore the garden where the angry Earth are born. The garden has been infected with a mysterious blight that must be stopped before it spreads to the rest of Eternum. You'll need to face the garden's protectors in order to purge the blight and begin the garden restoration. These expeditions are just a sample of what we'll have in at launch, and there will be much more to come in the future.
We've also added 2 new zones to New World since preview. First, we have Ebonscale Ridge, filled with lush wetlands, majestic waterfalls, and towering cliffs. It's a mysterious area in the northwest of the map, home to an exiled empress named Taiyang. A bright young woman once destined for greatness, the empress is now building an army of corrupted forces to reclaim her lineage and her rightful claim to the throne. Rickwater is a rundown fishing village overrun with brutes, pirates, and the other undeads. Originally imagined as New Venice, the settlement was built on the submerged ruins of an ancient residential district, but quickly overtaken by the Siren Queen and her flotilla, capturing the remaining settlers of Rickwater into her crew. Of course, a mysterious supernatural island wouldn't be complete without some villains. One of the most recognizable faces in New World is that of the red-eyed woman wearing a glowing amulet as she overlooks the island. As you may have already guessed, she is one of the most challenging enemies you will encounter in Eternum. Her name is Isabella. Countless warriors have tried to seize the amulet from the heart of the land, but every time they were overmatched by the corrupted and the island's powers and turned into the corrupted themselves. The Siren Queen is a figure that many will come to know after visiting the shore of Rigwater. Much about the Siren Queen is yet to be revealed. I don't want to spoil too much, but I can say that she and her crew originally arrived at the island seeking to create a new land in which all people could be equal. And somewhere along the way, she lost her soul. So we'll leave it at that, and I hope you enjoy your first encounter with her as you explore what Rigwater has to offer. In Abanscale Ridge, you will come face to face with a ruler like none you've ever seen before, the Empress. After fleeing her homeland and her envious half-brothers who sat her throne, she arrived in Eternum alongside her loyal followers. Now she continues to cultivate the island's power and transform her loyal followers into her own army with the intent of returning home to exact her revenge. When the first explorers came to Eternum, it was unoccupied, but over the time the explorers, or what's left of them, have populated the island. Little is known about the ancients, but you will see evidence of their long ago existence on this island, and perhaps over time you will learn more. The corrupted are immortal and twisted servants of an ancient and mysterious force of madness and destruction. The lost are soulless, immortal, undead beings, caught between life and death in an endless cycle of pain and torment. From the mindless, withered corpses to powerful ghosts fueled by elemental rage, the lost are a constant reminder that eternal life still has a price that must be paid. The angry earth are pure expression of nature infused with the power of Ajath. They are wise and docile creatures, but fearsome and powerful guardians of the natural world when provoked.
Skill-based, action-oriented combat is at the core of New World. In New World, your positioning, timing, and aim all make a difference. And our classless combat system means the weapons you choose will define your playstyle. As you use a weapon, you'll begin to master it, and you can further customize your weapon by choosing which abilities you want to specialize in. You can also select from a variety of passive benefits that affect the tactics of combat. At launch, we'll have 11 weapon types, including our newest addition, the Ice Gauntlet, which harnesses the elemental power of ice for powerful magic attacks. The weapon options in New World are especially interesting because of the Age of Exploration setting. Gunpowder has emerged, but it hasn't yet become dominant, so New World offers a great mix of melee weapons, ranged weapons, and magic weapons. As Scott mentioned, expeditions are designed for groups of 5 players. Teamwork will be required to make your way through, solving puzzles and battling challenging bosses. When you enter an expedition, you'll want to make sure you have a healer who can restore your party's health, and a tank to hold aggro and control the flow of battle, and some friends ready to quickly dispatch the enemies. And don't worry, New World still has all the PvP that players have come to know and love. Whether you're challenging a rival in a duel, competing in a 20v20 outpost rush, or jumping into an all-out 50v50 war, or just enjoying some friendly combat in the open world, there are plenty of opportunities to test your mettle against other players. I hope you've enjoyed getting a closer look at expeditions and some of the other new features in New World. Our closed beta will begin on July 20th. You can pre-order to secure a spot in the closed beta or sign up at our website, newworld.com, for a chance to get in. On August 31st, New World will launch for PC. The launch is just the beginning. We have a lot of plans for future content that we think you're going to love. We'll share more on our post-launch roadmap later this summer. Before we wrap up today, I'd like to thank those of you who joined us in the alpha or preview. Your feedback has helped us shape New World, and we want to keep hearing it. Together, we can make Eternum a place that you won't want to leave. We can't wait to see you there.
Hey guys, it's Geoff Keighley, and I am here at Amazon Games in Irvine with Scott. It's good to see someone in person and do one of these interviews. We're fully tested, and I got to say, you guys have been testing this game for a number of years, working on it and building it. And I first wanted to start by asking you, what has kept the team motivated through all these years? I know this past year has been so challenging to make games, and you guys had a lot of players in it last summer, have been building on it. What's kept you going all these years?
First off, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah.
It's great to see you. There's been a lot of things that have kept us going. We love the lore. We love the story of Eternum. We love to just be able to tell that story. But for the last year, it's been watching the players play the game, reading the feedback, engaging with them, and trying to understand, where they want us to take the game and how we can get it there. So when the team's in the forums or in the game and chat, watching and talking,
technical issue, so we had to restart the entire thing, and we had to fix that technical issue. But now we're ready and we're up, and we do like to apologize for that. But we're resuming, resuming the stream, and then we take it from there.
Building on it. What's kept you going all these years?
first off, thank you so much for coming.
Yeah.
It's great to see you. There's been a lot of things that have kept us going. We love the lore. We love the story of Eternum. We love to just be able to tell that story. But for the last year, it's been watching the players play the game, reading the feedback, engaging with them, and trying to understand, where they want us to take the game and how we can get it there. So when the team's in the forums or in the game and chat, watching and talking to players, it just pumps us up. It's fun. It helps us.
Well, these games are obviously built with the audience, and exactly last summer it was great to have all those players in there. As you said today, you guys have been building a lot more content and refining aspects of the game. From a top level, like New World, what do you hope it adds to the MMO genre? Like, it's an amazing genre. There are fans that don't just spend tens of hours; they spend hundreds of hours in these worlds. What are you hoping this game adds to the canon of MMO games?
Well, I think there's a few things. One, we're building this beautiful world, and I think our graphics bring a different dimension to the MMO genre. They're a little more realistic, and it helps us with the storytelling that we're trying to tell from, about Eternum in this time generation.
Yeah.
But the combat is the big differentiator. You bring that modern graphics in with the action combat, and it creates a whole experience that you can just get lost in.
And this setting for the game is so beautiful, but also so unique. Take us back to kind of the genesis of this project and New World and this setting. How did it come about? How did you guys land in this? Because this is brand new IP, big decision about where you were going to set this game. How did that come about?
Well, we love the idea of the age of exploration. We always say it was the last gasp of the sword and shield and the first breath of the musket or the gunpowder.
Yeah.
So we thought that was a really cool time period, and we wanted something around there. And when we came up with the idea of an island lost in time, Eternum, and thinking about all the different visitors that could have come there through the years, chasing immortality, not realizing what they were really going to get with it, and how we could tell that story in an island, we all just kind of fell in love with it.
Well, it's an amazing setting, and I know how hard the team has been working over these years to build this game. Last year, you had a lot of players, as you mentioned, in the game, and you've been building it based on their feedback. And you talked a lot about, in the video today on the sort of mid to end game content and how you've been adding a lot to that. I'm curious overall, though, from sort of a macro level, like how has the game changed in the past year based on player feedback?
Yeah, for sure. So outside of the big changes we've talked about, all the new content, we really took to heart a lot of the feedback we heard in the preview. Spawning systems. So in the game first, when players were playing on the beach, there was all kinds of issues with not enough enemies, this and that. We've revamped the spawning system. Combat. There was people didn't like as many of the interrupts as we had. People thought there was too too many different weapons you could have equipped at once. They wanted a little more differential in the combat trees, so we've done a full revamp on mastery. And then crafting. We've done a complete overhaul on crafting. We've added a lot of depth. You can now craft endgame materials right that compete with stuff you can find in the world. There's discoverable crafting ingredients, and there's just a lot more to do with all those systems.
Yeah, I love that this game continues to evolve. And one aspect that you've been evolving over the years is the PvP aspect. Tell us a bit about that, because, 50-player war, I mean, it's like there's a lot going on there, 50v50, things like that. Tell us, what can we expect from a PvP aspect of the game? And I know it's opt-in to do that too, right?
It's fully opt-in. So our vision for the game is to create a world where PvP and PvE not only coexist, but they complement each other. That starts with the territory game, where you can own different territories, and that's decided through the PvP part of the game. Once you own those, you can set different rules for the territories, things like tax rates, or you get other benefits like, if you own connecting territories, you might be able to access storage or get fast travel. And then ultimately, anyone can choose to fight in the war, and that's an opt-in PvP as well. But we've also built the game with the PvE player in mind, and we want the PvE player to feel that they can have a full, awesome experience without ever ticking the PvP box if they don't want to try that.
All right, so something for everyone inside of this. And I know in a world this vast, there's a lot to build, and I love that you've created all this additional content over the past year. We know that there's going to be a beta in July. People are going to get to sort of jump in again, get ready for launch at the end of August. I'm amazed that not just for this team, all these game teams around the world have been able to build games, in a work from home scenario. What has it been like for you guys to have, the alpha working from home and then building all this content? I mean, it's a tribute to all these teams, but has it been any different for you than normal?
Yeah, you have to learn how to communicate differently. You have to develop new muscle memory, as we say, or skills to do it.
Yeah.
But it's challenging because you lose out on those. You're in the cafeteria or the kitchen getting something to drink, and you hear two people talking about a feature they're putting in. You're like, oh my God, I didn't know that exists. That's so cool. How can I hear more? So you lose some of that, and you have to try to find ways to get it. But even like the other day was the first time I've seen a couple people in over a year. And you see people on camera every day, but you forget, oh, you're tall, or you're this, or you're different than me. And it's just been it's been a challenge. We've added a lot of ways to overcome it, but coming out of it now, which it feels like we are, I hope we are, I'm really excited to get everyone back together
and celebrate launch, hopefully in person, right?
Exactly.
Well, Scott, before we go, I have to ask you, the internet has certainly been talking about this game the past few weeks in relation to the idea that, is it a pay-to-win game? And fans that have invested time in this in the alpha or will be investing time in this year, I think want to feel like they really can earn their way to the end, and no one's going to be able to sort of artificially accelerate their way to a lot of the other content. What can you tell us about that? How are you guys approaching this concept?
Well, we've tried to be as transparent as we can with the players, and we continue to do that. So with that in mind, we're going out and we're building a game that has a very level playing field. That is super important to me. It's super important to the team. When we launch, we're only going to have cosmetics for sale in the store. Over the next several years, the game is going to grow and grow and grow, and we're going to see where that takes us.
And I will say, last year you guys put out this alpha, and sometimes I feel like alphas come out and they're just marketing events, and the game is kind of coming out anyways. You did the alpha and then really went in and have spent the past year retooling a lot of aspects of the game, pushed it a whole year based on the community feedback, really, right?
We took it to heart, and I hope it comes through for everyone when they see and hear what we're showing. And like I said, we revamped the combat, the crafting, the spawn system. We've added all of this new mid and end game content, all because of what we heard from people in the preview and in the alpha. So yeah, we're trying to, it's really important to us to watch, listen, and actually absorb what people are saying, and then try to show that in the software.
No, and this is, new IP from, Amazon, studio that's just getting into a lot of this stuff. Like, I think it's a huge endeavor, and I think a tribute to you and the team that you guys have built this. And this summer, it's finally time. It's looking great. So beta coming in July, right?
July 20th, yep.
July 20th, and then release August 31st. So
for sure.
The summer of New World after many, many years. And I know it hasn't been easy this past year, especially to develop the game. So thanks to you and the team for inviting us in, although all the teams at home, you and I are hanging out here, but they're working hard, and we can't wait to check out the game. New World. Thanks again, Scott. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Alright, guys, let's just have a bit of a talk before when the stream. Seemingly, what they were showcasing and everything that they showcased, they was just the deep dive for New World. The other thing is a bit far apart, so probably just end this and then we start the other one a bit later when that goes live around 12:45. So that'll be about 2 hours from now. But yeah, let's talk about what we have seen, what they've said. So based on the game that they displayed, what do you guys think? Do you think it would be a banger or just be another Amazon fail? Because Amazon has a history. Well, since they started getting to gaming, they haven't had a good game. They have some okay games, like some games that was fun for a moment or two, but never for the apparent long term of it. So I don't know. So upon that, I personally think that this game itself will be pretty fine. It won't be anything to write home about. It would just be average, to be honest. But like, hopefully Amazon does not ruin this game entirely and keep having it go strong and good. Because, to be honest, yeah, it looks like a decent game. I might check it out, but it's not anything that I would say worth paying upfront for, I guess, when it just released. But I think the thing is, games like that, you probably have to get in a release to actually enjoy the best parts of it. But I would think wait it out as best as possible. But for me personally, I don't think I don't really have much hope for the game. I hope is good. I really hope it turns out good and everything. But personally, I don't really have much hope for the game because, as I said, Amazon track record and all that business. Yeah. Yeah, so that was just my thoughts on the game overall. So I think I'm just going to sign off now and see you guys in the next hour, 2 hours and so. Yeah. So if you guys enjoy the stream, hit the like button if you like it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. There's a link to the Discord in the live feed, live chat, so you can join that if you guys like. And yeah, we're gonna be sending you guys out with some music, and hope you guys enjoy. Peace. See you guys in an hour, 2 hours, to be honest. To be frank. Yeah.
This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire. With crimson secrets and forbidden bliss, can't stay still, don't stop that thrill. My bones crave your skin, temptation within, mistakes ignite the silence. Nightmares creep while you and me repeat. This bittersweet heat is suffocating. I'm waiting and always hesitating. Kryptonite desires set my heart afire. Heart on fire. Set my heart afire.